resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D. Squared with
Brian Held.
Brian Held. What's up, Buckaroo?
Oh, man. Look, so we had a great time yesterday. We went to AuthorCon in Brookhaven, Mississippi. They brought me on as a media guest, and I was super appreciative.
I thought you were just emceeing.
No.
You were emceeing and a media guest?
Yes.
Wow.
I know. So thanks to Lynette McCaffrey and all the staff and volunteers out there. We had a really good time.
Like the whole crew was out there. Half the Week in Geek crew, the T-Empress and Ernie.
Oh, yeah. Katie was with me. Cyber Ernie was there. Kim Richardson from Viridian Tea Company. Absolutely.
That's what the T-Empress is. People should know that by now.
You're right. They should. So, but yeah, man. Now you had some news about your son DJ.
Oh my God! All right, so he is in Disneyland right now, and yesterday he FaceTimed me from Galaxy's Edge on board the Millennium Falcon.
Nice,
dude. This is how the conversation went, dude. And he sat down, he showed me where Chewie and C-3PO play, I guess hollow chess or whatever the hell it was.
Right.
Dude, it's big. I mean, it is like you're in the Falcon. He's showing me the walkways where, like, when Chewie and Han walk up, we're home. When you got the goosebumps from that line. Oh, my God. I got to go, Brian. I've got to go. And my 13-year-old is, like, FaceTiming. I'm just like, this looks so awesome.
You know what I'm just
hearing?
And
the fact that my 13-year-old FaceTimed me and texted me.
I'm just hearing parenting, you're doing it right. That's good
now,
stuff.
Honestly, now I want to run a freaking Star Wars game. Our ill-fated D&D campaign fell apart, but I'm thinking Star Wars might be the way to get him into role-playing.
All right. Yeah, no, that might work out. And then you put a camera on it and we have a new show.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's lay out the show. We'll kick it all off with top nerd news, followed by Skungy and his pick of the week. And then we have a very special guest, Brian.
Absolutely. I talked earlier this week to the media relations director for Dragoncon, which me and Don Cooper will be at the end of the month. And he's telling us all about Dragoncon and the great stuff that's going to be happening. And then, of course, we'll close it all out with This Week in Geek History.
But first... And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, what's topping us off tonight?
Well, I think you want to take this latest edition that you put to our notes and talk about it first, about Kevin Conroy being the live-action Bruce Wayne in CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths.
All right, so the CW, I'm way behind on all their shows right now, but they're doing the Crisis on Infinite Earths with the Arrow. Surprisingly, Stephen Amell's still alive. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah. I thought they were going to wrap up Green Arrow, though, honestly. But Supergirl, Flash, everybody, so they're doing a Crisis on Infinite Earth, but and they got Batgirl coming out too.
Oh wow!
But now with this, Kevin Conroy is going to play an older version of Batman, but after all these years of him being the voice behind the cartoon, he'll finally be in a live action one. I think fans. A lot of people probably know what he looks like, but maybe not, because it's that iconic voice. So I can't wait to see that, because to be able to watch him say the lines of Batman is going to be awesome.
Well, and I mean, I think it's cool because he did the voice of Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond. Yeah. And so I think this would be very befitting.
And I think that's kind of what they're going for. With the CW, I mean, like they've got so much stuff. I just haven't been able to keep up with it all. But that's what Netflix is for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm currently catching up on Supernatural.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, while we're talking about DC, let's stay in that vein.
All right.
Kevin Smith has confirmed the existence of a Snyder Cut and talks about the state of this, the version.
What state is it in? Louisiana?
Well, no, it's not a very good, or not a very watchable state. It's spliced together. There's a lot of green screen shots in it. Mm-hmm. Now, he himself did not personally see it, but he's talked to enough people who have, and basically...
So it's not the Holy Grail or something.
Well...
They're pretty sure it exists?
Chances are, based on the how Batman versus Superman was received, Warner Brothers is never going to go back and do the special effects on this.
Right. Well, I mean, what could it be? How could it be better?
Well,
could it be better? I mean, how does it make Brian Held happy?
Well,
that's the question.
It won't make me happy, but. The point is that they couldn't release this to a larger audience. I know there are some very hardcore fans out there who are like, release the Snyder Cut, the hashtag, all that kind of stuff.
Whatever.
We're never going to see this. It's just not going to happen.
After all the money they poured down the toilet with all the other movies that have not perform the way they want. I mean, right now they've got Shazam and Aquaman who have done well because they've realized that maybe a little more lighthearted is better.
Yeah.
Build up to the dramatic moments like Marvel has done.
Right, absolutely.
Build up to it. Of course, don't take 14 movies to build up to such an iconic moment, but
right.
You get what I'm getting.
Well, and the thing is that this is honestly used by folks in the productions of other parts of the DCEU to reference, right?
Okay.
So they weren't ever really intending to release this, and then they did talk about the fact that...
So this is how they duped the suits that, hey, look, it's really going to be a good movie because look what we're doing. And they're like, oh, that does look great. And then they did the bait and switch and we got the crap version.
Actually, probably not, because they go on to talk... Snyder goes on to mention that he wrote the original Justice League with Chris Torino, and they didn't even shoot it. And the actual idea, the actual idea, the hard idea, the scary idea, we never filmed because the studio was like, that's crazy. So I don't think there's any bait and switch going on.
Was it a steampunk spider? No,
I don't know, but it was probably so dark that even the suits were like, yeah, we can't do that.
God, yeah.
Now apparently that nightmare sequence that you see in what was it? Was it BvS? Yeah.
Where you had the little
Darkseid and the parademons.
Yes, that's
right.
the word. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was blanking. I was like the guys with the wings, the fairy guys.
Apparently, all of that was going to be explained, and there was going to be like the Justice League movie was going to be set in the future, and they were going to have to travel back in time.
Jeez, yeah, that's convoluted.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw it in Avengers, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, at least they kind of explained it away a little bit.
Right.
So I don't know when your bad guy is called Steppenwolf. I mean, really, I mean, get your motor running.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, well, but that's canon comics. I mean,
I know, but still doesn't mean you have to use him.
Well, true. But the fans are demanding some canon material.
I don't think any fans were demanding that.
Okay,
I'm maybe like 3.
All right.
Okay, I'll give you 4.
All right. Jeez.
Oh God! Look, real interesting side note. While I was perusing some of the notes stuff, when you said Tarantino, I thought you said Tarantino. I thought of Quentin Tarantino, his new movie that came out was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's not in the notes. But Bruce Lee. Oh wait, what? What is that?
It is in the notes.
The Bruce Lee thing?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Well, all right, well, let's talk about it.
All
Holy
right.
crap-a-doodle. Shows you how well I'm prepared for this show.
Uh-huh.
So, no, look, I thought that it was an interesting look into it because, like with the Green Hornet, the whole reason they had Kato wearing a mask is because they didn't want somebody to know he was Asian.
Right.
I mean, and I think, what was it that he said to, that he was kind of saying I could kick Muhammad Ali's ass or whatever, and Bruce Lee would have never said that is what his protege was getting at?
Right. The article that I pulled doesn't have the exact quote, but it does mention Dan Inosanto, who is one of Lee's former students, quote, Bruce Lee would have never said anything derogatory about Muhammad Ali because he worshipped the ground that Muhammad Ali walked on. In fact, he was into boxing more so than martial arts. So, yeah, his family has come out, Lee's family has come out and basically speaking against this portrayal of Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And, yeah, I mean... You know
the suck part, though, is that with Bruce Lee dying so early, with Brandon Lee dying so early, that the Lee legacy has kind of died out, too. Because, like, when you say Bruce Lee, older people are like, yeah, Bruce Lee's the badass, But, I mean, nowadays, people don't know who the hell he is. And, I mean, I don't think I'm really overgeneralizing this. I mean, I know people know who he is, but they don't know like the catalog of Bruce Lee, what he came from and what he did and how he broke into like Kung Fu. That was his story, but they cast a white dude for it, like some of the original whitewashing stuff.
Right. Well, but his martial arts style, Jeet Kune Do, is still around. There are still people who are
like 3 people.
No.
Well, they approved 3 people. He only approved 3 people that could teach his style.
Right, but I mean, they're still teaching it. His legacy still exists. So hopefully, some of those folks will get into the industry if they're not already there, and continue his keeping his name alive.
Hopefully.
All right.
Now that we just end on such a down note. That's what life is, a series of down and I have a bunch of Muppets. All right. What's next?
I thought this was kind of interesting. There's an upcoming Dungeons and Dragons book. It's going to feature adventures by Deborah Ann Wool and Marcia Ray. Now,
okay, you're going to take away my card. Who are they?
So there's so much geek stuff happening. I love the fact that there's just this huge amount of nerdiness happening in the world right now.
Are those the people that did Ravenloft?
No, hold on. Deborah Ann Wool was Karen, I forget her last name, in Daredevil.
Okay.
Right? The lawyer, right?
Yeah. I got you.
And
in the Netflix series.
In the Netflix series, yes. And she is a Karen Page. That's what it was.
Okay.
And she is a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons, and she's on Geek and Sundry's show Relics and Rarities. She's a dungeon master for them. And nice. I was like, wow, that's cool. And then Marcia Ray is part of Critical Role. Okay. Critical Role is like the #1 Dungeons and Dragons podcast out there. Okay. I got Katie turned me onto it recently, and I've listened to a few episodes, and it's all voice actors who are doing it. They did a Kickstarter recently, and they raised something like just millions of dollars in order to produce like an animated version of, right. I mean, it's insane. So this is a new book that's coming out from Dungeons and Dragons, and it's going to feature a number of adventures, including from Deborah and Marcia. So, yeah, I mean, it's just amazing to see how well Dungeons and Dragons is doing right now. Of course, the portrayal in Stranger Things was very apt. That was awesome to see that. So
yeah, the Stranger Things box set was on sale at Target, like it was on clearance.
Really?
I should have picked it up, but I didn't have any cash.
Oh well.
I know, such is life.
Yes. Speaking of nostalgia, there's a He-Man documentary coming out.
Do you have the power, Brian?
I do. On September,
right. I wasn't expecting that.
On September 3rd, The Power of Grayskull is going to be coming out on DVD, and it's a look into just the whole process of He-Man bringing it to the small screen.
Yeah, and how the toys became so iconic or just, I don't know, I still think they look goofy as all hell.
Well, they do.
But it was a huge marketing thing, and that really kind of kick-started like all the G.I. Joes and the Transformers and everything else after that preceded that, and or whatever pre-seed is. After post-seed. I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, they did have the stuff from the Toys That Made Us, that series. That was really good.
That was a good one.
This, I think, is going to dig into it a little more. I think it's going to have appearances from Dolph Lundgren, of course, who was He-Man in the old movie. Frank Langella.
They're still working on the new one.
Well,
still working on
I was getting to that, but I thought it was cool. J. Michael Straczynski is also in here, and he must have wrote some of the episodes.
Okay.
He also wrote Babylon 5.
Oh, so, great! That's super.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that now. Well, have you watched any of the new She-Ra episodes on Netflix?
I saw the entire first season of it.
Oh my God! Really?
I did. Yeah.
That was not the answer I was expecting.
Well, because we had Morla Gorondano, the voice actress, who came on, and she was, she's in that series. In fact, she's even more featured in the latest season.
Right.
And so, yeah, and not only did I watch the new stuff, David, but
don't put your finger at me.
Yes. Well, I went and watched like the first 5 episodes of the original She-Ra to make the comparison, and I was surprised that it was pretty
the storyline is pretty close. Well, Angie Burlier, my producer for the D League, she refuses to watch it because she was a She-Ra kind of gal growing up, and she's like, I can't watch that animation, and so she's boycotted it completely.
Well, and you know what? And that's ridiculous. I mean, look.
You tell her she's in the other studio right now.
As soon as we're done with the show, I will go over there and tell her, because the thing is, look, you cannot like a thing. That's fantastic, right? But if you're not going to watch it and say you don't like it, well, then that doesn't hold any water.
Brian.
What?
You just debunked the entire internet just now, okay? I mean, come on. That's what the internet and Twitter's for.
Right. All right, we're going to have to go to break pretty soon.
We do have to go to break. Skungy's on the line.
Yeah, well, I'm going to preempt Skungy with some game news. Apparently, the original Diablo is now playable in your internet browser.
Get out.
Yes. The Rivsoft is they specialize in Blizzard-centric projects, and they have created a browser version. Now, it's the shareware version, so you only get a few levels and a few character classes. But if you own the original copy, you could just drop it into the browser, and it'll access the whole game.
Oh, but like that's the dirty PC version, though.
Well,
see, I only own the PlayStation version.
Yeah, but I know for a fact, David, that you do own a computer, that it is in your house.
Technically, yes.
And because this is Diablo and it's old, even if your computer's old, it'll still work.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah. So, you see, I'm looking out for you, Dave.
Good looking out. Let's go to break, you jerk.
All right, guys, when we get back, we're going to have our boy Skungy and his pick of the week. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Oh, look, my son's calling me from the Millennium Falcon again. Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktieTans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Autobots, transform and roll out!
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm D Squared along with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, it is your most favoriteest part of the show.
Yay.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo!
Skungy, what's shaking, baby? I gotta go pull that audio now, Brian. Yay! Yay!
All right, what's up, man?
Nothing much, gentlemen. How are we on this fine, hot summer day?
We're awesome. Thanks for asking.
We're ready to talk about video games, so talk.
Yes. So, my pick this week was, sometimes you just happen to be looking through the shop, looking through an online store, and you come across something and you say, what the hell? Let me try it out.
Uh-oh.
And, man, I'm pleasantly surprised. I found this game called Armello.
Huh?
Yeah, Armello. Now, this game's been out for about a year or so. It went to the Switch not too long ago, but it's been out for about a year or so. And the best way to describe it, it's a digital board game.
Okay.
So, as y'all know, I'm a huge board game fan, so this was kind of in my wheelhouse, but the theme is really interesting. The best way to describe it is to take Redwall, which is that fantasy thing with the rats, meets Game of Thrones.
Okay.
You're playing. Yeah, exactly. It's the whole story. It's got a nice story to the board game as well. It's this king is corrupted, and the king is a lion. That's why I say Redwall is because you have all these animal clans and whatnot. All the characters you're playing are animals. This king is corrupted by this rot, and he's basically gone off his rocker, gone crazy, and he's corrupting the land. So you play one of 4 clans: a wolf clan, a rat clan, bunny clan, and bear clan.
But wait, bunny? A bunny clan.
Bunny.
What, you got something against bunnies?
No.
All right.
They've got huge sharp teeth and fangs.
Well, right. I mean, when you got wolf and lion and tiger and bunny.
Well, and the cool thing is each clan has like their own strengths and whatnot, and each character that you play has a different ability that they will have.
So the rabbits reproduce quickly.
There you go.
Well, actually, the rabbits are really good at getting prestige and like lending their voice to the king's ear. At the dawn of every day, the turns go in night phase and day phase. And at the beginning of every day phase, the king has a new decree. It could be all towns on the board are attacked, or more rot and corruption. Well, if you have the highest prestige, you get to choose which decree the king does.
Clearly, the bunnies are heralds and courtiers they bend the king's ear.
Exactly. And this, like I said, it's really great story. You're trying to dethrone the king, and you can win in one of 4 different ways. You can either, which I love this, you get an achievement, King Slayer.
Yeah.
You kill the king, just outright kill the king. Well, the king is also dying because of the rot. So every morning he takes a wound.
Oh, so it's mercy killing.
The game's only 9 rounds.
All right.
Oh, I like that.
So at the end of 9 rounds, he is going to die. So you can, if you have more rot than him, when he dies, you become the new king, and you are like the new corrupt king. Or you can sit there, when he dies, you have the most prestige, and you can become the king. Or you can find these stones to heal the king. He still dies, but he dies nicely.
Peacefully in his bed, surrounded by all his loved ones.
I have to ask a quick question, Skungy. What kind of animal is the king?
The king is a lion.
All right. That's cool. Makes sense. Fair enough.
And so like I said, there are 4 clans. And I forgot to say, there's also one other clan that you can get through DLC called the Bandit Clan, and they have different animals. They have like a badger and a squirrel
Crash
and a
Bandicoot.
fox.
Yeah. No, all right. That's cool.
So the cool thing about those victory conditions is that you might start off playing the game trying to go for one, but throughout playing the game, you're going to maybe switch to trying to go for another victory condition, because you get cards that are you can screw over the other player by, taking away the prestige or giving them rot. So it's got a very take that part to it. It's got battles where you can, it's got dice chucking in it, even though it's virtual dice chucking. You can, and you don't really get penalized for dying either. Like in some games where it's like, oh, I lose everything. No, you lose 1 prestige point and that's it.
All right.
So it's got that. It's got online play. The only thing, it doesn't have local co-op.
That sucks.
So that's kind of a downfall with it, because I mean it really is but it's kind of hard to play a game like that on one screen. But there is online multiplayer, and you can play the game solo as well.
So wait, I'm a little confused for a second. How many players at once can you have on? Because you said it's like a board game, but
yes,
video game.
4 players.
4 players, and since it's a board game style thing, it seems like it would be lined up perfectly for couch co-op. But you don't have that. No,
you don't, because you have your hand. And you don't want to show what your hand is to other people sitting on the couch with you. It'd be the whole, hey, turn your head while I'm doing my turn kind of thing.
Yeah, that was kind of like Masters of Orion, too. If you try to do hot seat, all that kind of stuff, everybody had to leave the room while you're building your fleets and all that stuff. And so I could see that. That'd be a problem.
And there's stealth in this game because some of the tiles will actually, like if you're in the forest at night, it'll give you stealth. So you can try to ambush another player, and that kind of would give away where you are.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, this seems like a missed opportunity because they could have had like couch co-op and then tied in smartphones into it via your Wi-Fi where you could have had your hand on the smartphone and then nobody would have seen your hand on the screen.
Perhaps the game is not that good and it doesn't warrant that level of interest, Mr. Held.
All right, well, I'm just saying.
Actually, I disagree. I think I absolutely love this game. It's such a charming game with a great gameplay. And right now it's on sale, so that's the other reason why I kind of decided to review it, other than the fact that I just found it, but also it's on sale.
All right. Well, what kind of price are we looking at, Skungy?
So you can get, like I said, it does come with some DLC. The DLC will give you more characters for the current clans. There's a Usurper pack. There's a Bandit clan, which gets you a whole new clan. And then also extra skins for the boards. Normally, those are a little bit pricey, like about $10 a piece for those. But right now, you can get the deluxe edition of the game, and it's like $18 on PlayStation 4, and I think it's on Xbox. The sale's on Xbox, so I know for a fact on PlayStation 4 it is on sale.
All right. I mean, it sounds interesting.
Yeah,
you know, I'd be interested in checking it out.
I mean, like I said, you could play it by yourself, and you'll be fine with it. You don't necessarily need to, because the good thing about this is that everything runs in the background. You don't when you play a board game, you have to set up everything yourself. Well, no, everything's set up. It does all the AI for you. And then also, there's so many different victory conditions and achievements and different cards that you try to collect, and you can customize the game any way you want. You can make it harder. You can make it easier. There's so much versatility to it that you really don't get bored with it quick. And for $17, $18, you really can't beat that.
Well, you know what's nifty is that if it's a virtual board game, you're not going to lose any of those cardboard chits.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
You know?
Absolutely. Every time you look around, it's like, what does this piece go to?
Yeah.
What is this pawn for?
All right. I'm looking right now on an entry for this. It's on a ton of platforms: Android, PlayStation 4, iOS, Microsoft Windows, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Linux.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It really, it just went on everything. And like I said, it's charming. It's a game that I think if you like board games at all, you're going to love this game.
$10 on Steam right now.
$10. See, you can't beat that.
Yeah. All right, well, cool. All right, anything else for us, Skungy?
I wish that I would have paid more attention in school, and I could have won $3 million in Fortnite as well.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, those tournaments were huge.
Yeah. Other than that, in the world is Ninja's now going exclusively to Mixer, so that he's like the biggest Fortnite player in the world.
Yeah, Ninja, right.
Yeah, and he's going exclusively to Mixer, which, strangely enough, of all the streaming services, is only like 3% of the streaming services Mixer.
Yeah, well, no, and look, I know a little bit about Mixer because, once again, my son uses that, but that's because Mixer, you can curse on it. You can have more adult themes on it, and specifically the whole reason my kid uses it because he plays Mortal Kombat 11 a lot, and because of the graphic violence, he puts it on there so his friends can watch the graphic violence of Mortal Kombat.
All right,
I'm gonna say I suck at parenting.
Yeah. And we were just complimenting your parenting a little while ago. I
just know that violent video games don't lead to violence.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right.
Maybe to an inanimate object, like I'll throw crap at the TV.
Yeah.
Many have broken controllers in the day.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right, well, thanks, Skungy. You brought us an interesting and whimsical title.
Yes, but you're still fired. Get out of here. Yeah, cry. I love those salty tears. Get out of here.
All right, gang, when we get back, we're going to have our interview with Dan Carroll, the Media Relations Director for Dragoncon. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Pro Se Productions is a leading independent publisher on the cutting edge of new pulp and genre fiction today. At Pro Se Productions, you'll find fiction featuring fast-paced action and adventure, larger-than-life protagonists, over-the-top characters, and tight yet extravagant plots. Pro Se specializes in prose books, anthologies, audiobooks, and more. Go to prose-press.com to find our monthly release schedule and more info about our great titles. Pro Se Productions is your first-rate publisher of new pulp fiction today. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at W&Co's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Hey, you Ninja Turtle fans, this is Raphael. That's right, the OG Raphael. And the only show we listen to here in the sewer while eating our favorite pizza is The Week in Geek on WRNO Radio. Turtle Power!
This is Brian Held of the Week in Geek Radio Show on News Talk 99.5 WRNO, and I'm joined by a very special guest tonight. He has a very important job. He is the Media Relations Director for Dragoncon in Atlanta, Georgia. Mr. Dan Carroll, how are you?
I am doing fantastic tonight, Brian.
Man, now, we had you on the show all the way back in 2017 when we showed up to cover the event for our outlet, and now we're going to be back, and I can't be more excited. Now, Dragoncon is going to be August 30th through September the 2nd in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. For anyone who's not attended Dragoncon, what are they going to miss?
Well, you are missing the largest fan event run by fans for fans in the world. We're going to have 85,000 people taking up 5 host hotels plus a convention center next to the hotels. We're going to have the largest parade in Atlanta with 3,200 people in costumes walking down Peachtree Street with 85,000 people watching them. And you're going to be missing 3,500 hours of programming. You're going to be missing comics, film, games, music. A lot of people don't know we have music. You're going to be missing so much. If there's something you enjoy watching or talking about, the chances are we have it at Dragoncon.
Well, you bring up a very good point, Dan. It's something that I've always appreciated about your event. Other events that some folks might go to are just kind of focused on the high-level aspects of pop culture, but you guys really dig deep. I mean, there's computer programming, there's writing tracks for authors. I mean, like, how do you manage to pull all of this together in this event?
Well, the best thing about my job is that I don't have to do it. I just have to talk about it.
All right.
But the way we do it is 2 things. One, we've got a really great volunteer structure, 2,200, 2,500 volunteers, depending upon the year. Working with 117 different departments planning throughout the year. I mean, I am not kidding when I say I have already begun planning Dragoncon 2020 for my team already. And we do it with something that a lot of the other conventions lack, and that is Southern hospitality.
Oh, of course. Now, I think we should probably start at the top. Of course, the biggest draw to an event like this that you guys have coming in. Tell me a little bit about who we can expect to see there.
Well, I don't want to go too far into this because there's so much to see, but if you go to www.dragoncon.org, you'll be able to pull up the entire guest list because we have 400 guests coming. About 100 of them are those celebrities you're thinking of, but we have astronauts, we have comic book creators, we have, as you said, game creators. But when it comes to the folks that you're used to seeing on TV, we have so many of the cast of TV's Gotham.
Wow.
We have so many of the cast of iZombie. And one of the funny things about iZombie is Ali Michalka from iZombie is coming, but her sister's also coming, who is on the Goldbergs in school. They both grew up together in the Disney original movie field, and they ventured into adult acting. A movie that was very popular this year, Shazam. We have Asher Angel, but we also have Zachary Levi.
Oh, wow.
So we have both of the characters who play Billy Batson, and we got the guy who played Shazam, and we have their dad, Cooper Andrews, coming also. A lot of people know him from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
And those are just three things I've mentioned. We've got a giant Farscape convention. Farscape is one of those shows that when you know it, you love it.
Right.
Not everybody might be aware of it, but you're maybe aware of some of the actors from other things. We have Ben Browder coming. We've got Gigi Edgerly coming. We have got, you know what? We've got about 9 actors from Farscape coming, but that's not the most interesting thing. We're also having Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son, the creator of Farscape. He'll be there with some other folks who put Farscape on. So that's just an example of how we go into the depth. Some of the things that we're really fascinated with this year, I'm really excited about is here in Georgia, we got a little show they make called Stranger Things. A couple people have watched it.
Right.
And we have Carrie Elways coming. And a lot of people know him from Princess Bride, and a lot of people know him from Robin Hood Men in Tights. And even Saw. I mean, his career goes all over or covers the gambit, and he's going to be coming, also the actress who plays Barb. So we've got a lot of people from a lot of shows coming, and I don't want to get too caught up with that, but we also have writers such as Larry Niven, one of the greatest science fiction writers of all time. In the comic book world, we have George Perez.
Nice.
George Perez is retired and will only do DragonCon and one other convention each year from now on. So if you want to see George Perez, come to DragonCon. You might, for those people listening, creator of the new Teen Titans, author, artist of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Speaking of Crisis of Infinite Earth and Teen Titans, he's going to be joined by Marv Wolfman, who was his co-creator on those. And both of them had come to DC from Marvel. And after Stan Lee stepped down as editor-in-chief of Marvel, he put it in the hands of one Roy Thomas. And Roy Thomas will be joining us.
I have to ask real quick. You know, you guys out in Georgia did a really good job to scoop up all of the Hollywood South stuff that Louisiana dropped the ball on. Does that make it easier on you guys to get a lot of the bookings that you get?
Well, this year it actually has not been. Some years it has, some years it hasn't. The problem is filming schedule coinciding with DragonCon schedule.
Right.
It's always something we have to deal with.
Okay.
But I just want to throw out, because you're a geek station, right?
Oh,
you're
absolutely.
A geek stuff.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of Doctor Who guests. We have Matt. We do not have Matt Smith. Matt Smith came recently. We have David Tennant coming, but he's bringing Catherine Tate and Fremia Garn, Martha and Donna from his tenure. Coming from Supernatural, we have a number of guests. We don't have the boys coming. Got to tell you, we do not have the boys coming, but we do have a number of Supernatural guests led by Mark Shepard. We got many more. Go check out the website and you'll see them. One of the things that we're talking about local Atlanta filming, we do have Matt Ryan. Now, a lot of folks are thinking I'm talking about a quarterback, but no, we're talking about Constantine, filmed here in Atlanta. He's kept that character going, and it seems like he is married to that character and will continue keeping it going.
Now, you know, I just thought about something. You mentioned all the spots, 5 host hotels, the attached convention center. You also have events that are going on in the Georgia Aquarium too, right?
Well, we have one event.
Okay.
Everything that happens at Dragoncon is covered with your Dragoncon pass with one exception, and that is this amazing Dragoncon night at the Georgia Aquarium. It's a incredible costume contest. It's an evening of being able to dress up and stand in the largest aquarium in North America. It's a gorgeous environment. They know how to throw a party at night, I'm just telling you, folks. And with everybody from Dragoncon taking over the place, it's an invasion.
Well, and I've seen such great pictures that have come out of that with all the cosplay that you mentioned. Now, let me shift topics real quick to something that's near and dear to me as a member of the 501st, is that you guys do a lot of charitable things to help your local community. You want to talk about some of that?
I do indeed. This year, our Dragoncon charity is going to be the American Heart Association. Last year, we raised $117,000 through our matching fund from the donations given by Dragoncon attendees. This year, we're hoping to take that $100,000 matching fund commitment and match it 100%. And raise $200,000 for the American Heart Association. And the reason it's so important to everybody at Dragoncon this year is we chose that charity out of memory for Tom Trainer, the man who built, grew, and developed our comic book programming and our comic book and pop art alley at Dragoncon over the many, many years. He passed away last summer before Dragoncon, but he is remembered still today. And we're going to raise that money, and we're going to match those funds, and we're going to give as much as we can to the American Heart Association. But that's not the only thing we do charitable. We have the Robert A. Heinlein Pay It Forward Blood Drive, run by Blood South. This fundraiser is known for its creativity and being the largest blood drive at any convention anywhere in the country every year. And we're gonna keep breaking those records, and we're gonna keep pulling that blood, and we're gonna keep saving lives with it.
Well, I know that our fellow geeks and nerds are a giving bunch, and you know, what better tribute to the guy you mentioned who passed on, and just to give back to the community. I know a lot of our folks are all about that, and that's incredible. So tell me, how can folks find out all the great things about this, find out about ticket sales and all this good stuff for Dragoncon?
Sure. The best location, the best source of all information is www.dragoncon.org. You'll be able to see there are still hotels available for folks in the Louisiana and New Orleans area. Feel free to come on down to Dragoncon. We're happy to have you. You'll be able to get your membership online through Dragoncon.org. You'll be able to see all the great guests. You'll be able to see everything else we do, all the programming we have, all the workshops we have, and find out more about why this needs to be the place you are at Labor Day weekend.
And, you know, you brought up a point that I was going to ask you. It always seems like a challenge to get a hotel, but you said that there's still hotel rooms available, right?
Yeah, there are, and the misconception comes, Brian. The misconception comes from the fact that Dragoncon has 5 host hotels, which, full disclosure, do sell out in about 10 minutes apiece.
Yeah,
if not less. But we are working with another 19 to 21 other hotels to provide Dragoncon rates and to provide availability and transportation to the convention from those hotels. So what you do is, if you go to the website, there's a travel and a hotels button.
All right.
And it lists our host hotels, but then if you go past the host hotels, there's a reminder there are always hotels available for Dragoncon.
Okay.
And of our of the 14 hotels they list here for this year, only 7 are sold out.
All right.
So we still have the Embassy Suites, the Crown Plaza, Fairfield, Glen, blah, blah. There's so many more to mention. One of my favorite hotels out there is the Omni CNN Center. It's still available. So check out the website. As I said, it's under travel, under hotels, and they list our host hotels, but they also list all the other hotels partnering with us right now.
All right. And what sort of rates are someone looking at for, let's say, a weekend pass or a day pass? How do the passes work?
Up until August 16th, you can purchase your 5-day pass for $140 online, or you can purchase it on site for the same price. After August 16th, we'll have a different announcement to make, so keep looking at the website, keep following us on Twitter. 3-day passes go for $120 on site. 2 days are $70. That's for Sunday and Monday. And the 1-day passes start at $15 for Thursday and go up to $50 for Saturday.
Oh, wow. I mean, that seems like a steal, $140 for 5 whole days. And
sure. I mean, you can spend over $100 to go. I'm sorry. You can spend up to $100 to go to a theme park for 1 day.
Right. And you're talking $28 a day. I mean, that's insane. And one of the things that I love about Dragoncon is it doesn't stop. It's 24 hours a day, right?
It is. Dragoncon, I like to say, is 2 different conventions. We have a daytime family-friendly convention where we have a lot of panels and you get to see the stars. But we also have that nighttime Dragoncon that goes until the sun comes up, where everybody gets to be who they want to be. Adults can be adults and enjoy themselves in ways that they're not going to be able to do at 3 in the afternoon.
No, and that's fair. Well, Dan, we sure appreciate you taking the time to tell us about this event, and we can't wait to see you at the end of August.
Oh, Brian, we can't wait to see you again. It's been 2 years, so I'm starting to miss you a lot. We'll see you very, very soon.
All right, hang tight for me, Dan. Guys, stay tuned when we get back. We're going to close out the show as we always do with This Week in Geek History. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Web shooters up on my wrist. You know I make it go thwip. That's how I live that Spidey life.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at W&Q's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Mata Hari, Agent H21, is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
This is Kate Mulgrew for The Week in Geek. Just kidding. It's Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, the Major from Ghost in the Shell. Listen, or the Tachicomas are going to get you.
This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D-Squared with
Brian Held.
Now, as always, we want to strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio and the Instagrams, The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you miss any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app,
and your mama's house.
All right.
But now,
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future!
Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
da-na-na, da-na-na, wow.
All right. First out of the gate, Dave, is July 29th, 2011. I'm not going to make you guess this one, all right?
Oh, good, thanks.
Directed by Jon Favreau and starring Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, and Olivia Wilde.
Wait, Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford,
and Olivia Wilde, yes.
And Jon Favreau?
He directed it, yes.
I really don't know.
Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, yeah, that was a turd.
Yeah, I mean, it
wasn't bad. It wasn't good either. It wasn't like, wow, great movie. But I remember it kept coming on regular basic cable like almost every weekend. I don't think I ever made it through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever made it through the whole thing.
I mean, it's just kind of, popcorn and, beer.
Yeah,
type deal.
pretty much.
All right, now let's see if you can guess the next one, all right? July 30th, 1999. Starring Ben Stiller, Hank Azaria, William H. Macy, Janine Garofalo, Eddie Izzard.
Oh, wait. The bowling ball with the skull.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God. What was the name of that movie? It's not The Replacement. The other guys? The
Mystery Men.
The Mystery Men.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a goofy-ass movie, too.
I love that movie. That's a great movie.
What?
Yeah, it's fun. Come on.
Oh, my God.
No.
And all this crap that you hate, and you love this turd of a movie?
I do.
That is just ridiculously stupid on every level?
Yeah.
I mean, one guy farts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all he does is fart.
Right.
And you like this? Who are you? I don't even know you anymore.
I enjoy The Mystery Man. It's a good movie.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Yes. All right. Next item on my
Jeez.
list.
My whole world's upside down now.
Yes, July 31st, 1989.
See?
Nintendo releases the Game Boy to North American markets.
Ah.
And did you have a Game Boy, Dave?
I did not.
You didn't?
I was Poe.
Yeah, that little green and black screen.
I did not have it.
Yeah,
I had
fun.
friends who had it.
Yeah.
I was Poe.
All right. No, that's I had the little the cheap ones from the Scholastic Reader deals with the single game. Do you remember those?
No.
You could save up your points when you ordered books through that, and yeah.
No, the closest thing I ever had to a Game Boy was back in the early 80s. It was just those little red dots. I had baseball and football. The beep, 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 boop,
I was just
boop,
thinking
beep,
that.
boop.
I had one of the football ones.
I
know.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
You playing the foosball behind my back?
I was. I played the heck out of that game. It was good. All right. On August 1st, 1970. Is the first incarnation of what would become Comic-Con. It's the Golden State Comic-Con, and it began at the U.S. Grant Hotel in San Diego.
Well, there you go.
And I just thought it was apt since it just happened.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. All right, this next one, August 2nd, 1997. The U.S. patent number 5,662,332 was granted to Wizards of the Coast for collectible card games.
Ooh.
Yes. So
Wait. They copyrighted all collectible card games or just Magic the Gathering?
On collectible card games as a whole, and I'd wonder how that works out because I know like they trademark certain things like the tap of turning your card sideways.
Right.
And so other games would use all these different terms to indicate tapping.
Yeah, right, right.
Turning or whatever, Let's see. Next, the last one on my list is August 3rd, 1977. Is when the Tandy Corporation announces the TRS-80 microcomputer to be sold at Radio Shack outlets lovingly known as the Trash 80.
That was a good one.
Yes.
August 1st, 1975.
Your birthday?
Yay!
That's right. Yeah, belated happy birthday, sir.
Thanks, pal. All right, what we got going on next week?
Next week? Oh, that's
what?
Jesse Broughton is getting married next weekend from Team Uber Geeks Cosplay in Shreveport, and we're going to the wedding, so that's going to be cool. It's a cosplay wedding.
Okay.
They even sent me con badges to attend. That was my invite.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are we not doing a show then?
No, we're doing a show. I'm going to come back on Sunday. So
well, that's good.
Yeah, we'll be here. So, and I'm still working on booking a guest. I'm trying to get friggin' Rob Guillory.
Okay. All right, we got to go. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
Gets News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM New Orleans anywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.